Welcome back, everybody. I'm going to get the rest of the drywall done today. Before I start that, I want to try to get all the lights in. It'll help with the lighting down here. I don't have to have these big spotlights around that I keep tripping over. I got 3 of these recess style lights. A lot of people call them puck lights. They used to be called recess cans, but there's no more cans to them. I usually pick these up at Home Depot. These are the cheap ones. They've got 3 color grades, 3K, 4K, and like 5K. So I've already got the circles traced out. It just comes with a cardboard 6-inch round cutout. Just using a multi-tool. So everything is powered up in here. Outlets are powered up, and there's power to the switch. Switch is off. Here's the light. This is the junction box. This is the light held together with this little connector here. It's supposed to last 16 years. I guess you could probably try to find a replacement one of these or a replacement one of these, but for 16 bucks, you probably just pull the whole thing out. I've used these in a lot of locations where there is just an old mushroom light, you know, those little builder grade lights. Take that light fixture out, remove that light box that's up in the ceiling, cut your 6-inch hole, pop one of these up, and now you have modern lighting. You got knockouts on either end. These are just little connectors that pop in the circle and protect your Romex from the metal edges. You know, 1 down, 2 to go. Nice. Lots of light. 1 more. That makes a big difference working in here now. Hopefully I can take these 2 big filming lights out. I still may need 1 in here just to kind of light up a certain area. But the walls look light, the floor looks light. Looks real nice. I don't think we would have needed a 4th. So this wall is about exactly 16 feet. It's going to take 4 sheets. But it throws a little curveball because there's a closet. And that closet somewhat lines up on the stud, but there's going to have to be cuts there. So let me know down in the comments the way you would have done it. I can stand them up. We've got 48 inches, 48 inches, and then we've got, because I had made this little closet opening here a little bigger, we've got 44 inches. And then we would have the last sheet get ripped down the middle, and from the wall over lands right on 48 inches. That's one option. Stand them up. I just have to trim the ends off. Here's a more conventional way. You put your first 8-footer up, lift it up to the ceiling, buzz it in. Then your next full sheet you cut down, and you put it up to the ceiling. Set that end piece to the side because it's going to go in the closet. Then you stagger your joint. You come back here with 8 feet. Run it all the way over to here. And then it's going to take another full sheet because this is more than 48 inches from that to here. This is 60 something. And then you take that scrap end and that goes inside the closet. I think it's going to turn out fine either way. When you run them vertical, you'll have bevel joints. When you run them horizontal, you'll have 1 long bevel joint and 2 butts. 6 dozen one way, 12 another. So put down in the comments, what's your way? And what do you think of this beautiful lighting in here? Just wait till we get the walls lightened up, put some drywall on there, some paint, And this place, you'll have to wear sunglasses. I may even have to put a dimmer switch in. Corner, around we go. This is what you don't want to do. You don't want to cut here. You want to cut over there so that you have a factory edge to a factory edge. Gonna miss having that little shelf on this post here. This can be a little short to prop it up off the ground. It's got a little pry bar, wedge underneath there, and you can snug it up. So I'm bringing these down 2 at a time. I'm going to do this wall, it's going to take 2. I'm going to do that wall, it's going to take 2. And then I got to do the back wall. How many did I buy? Let's talk about something that has been creating drama. And that is men that wear gloves for everything. It's quite weird commenting on my videos about how they love having soft hands. I'm not against gloves at all. When you work with glass, you work with sheet metal, there's a good potential to get cut. Armor Guys has a couple different options. We got ultra thin for his, then we got medium duty, black. Put a link in the description for these guys. Again, you're working with glass, you're working with sheet metal. Stop wearing gloves, get some man hands. You don't want to have see-through old lady skin on your hands. You know those old ladies that got band-aids all over them because they bump into a wall and their skin tears. You don't want to be that guy. Hopefully we got rid of all the sissies and we're just men making a living or working on our house with no gloves. I'm just getting a couple of these started. Magnet on my tip don't work so great anymore. Well, the drywall is finally in, except for a few things. I got to do something with this post and beam. The post is wider than the beam by nearly an inch. So I may have to fur out this entire side of the beam to get it to match up with the post. So there's a little bit of tinkering to do before I start the finishing process. The multi-tool, probably one of the most valuable tools that I use when installing drywall. If you have this thing nearby and you got a sheet up in there and there's a corner that's not fitting right, you just buzz that right up and slides right up in. Use a tape measure, obviously, chalk line. This one here is called a rasp, a drywall rasp. After you make your cut and you bend it and you break it and you cut it, you may have some bumps. You can smooth everything out with the drywall rasp. Makes it nice and smooth and it fits in nice and tight. I use this a little bit. I don't really have a reason not to use it. I just like the chalk line, and I hurt myself on my pointer finger because I wasn't wearing gloves. I was actually putting some backing in this corner here and screwing through this stud into a backing 2x4, and I burnt my finger. And I cried. I'm just kidding. If you want some gloves, I'll put a link down in the description. Next video is the finishing process. There's a big difference between installing and finishing. Finishing actually takes some skill level, a lot of practice, and some specialty tools, which I don't have. So I got to do it old school. So I got to be extra good. I don't have the new tools that, make it real easy to get smooth walls. Thanks for watching. Goodbye. What do you guys think of this? Just gonna have a little door right here. This is just about flush. This knob might stick out just a hair. And then this one down here just barely sticks out. So I'll have a nice framed out, maybe 1.5 inch frame around this opening, and then a door. So you can easily get in, do all your shut-offs, your winter maintenance. I did leave enough room in here to get to the outlet if you ever needed to unplug that. But I think it came out pretty good. Got a lot of finishing to do, a lot of corner bead to put up, a lot of mud to sling.